Welcome to the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast, episode 32. Welcome. My name is John.
My name is Dante.
How are we? How's everything? Good morning. We have a jam-packed week. We're talking SmackDown. We're even talking NXT this week because the main roster invaded it. We're talking Raw. We're talking Bloodline stuff. What are our thoughts with that? What are our thoughts leading into Money in the Bank? We have a lot to talk about. Forbidden Doors coming up. Also, actually, we're probably not going to talk too much about that because we are filming this. Usually we film this on Thursday mornings. We're doing our usual, something's going on Thursday. We got to film it a day early. It's going to come out a little earlier on Thursday, but we are filming this on the Wednesday before, so we will miss talking about Dynamite.
Yeah, it's kind of like a good thing and a bad thing, because the bad thing is we don't get to talk about AEW, but the good thing is you guys get an early release.
Exactly.
So you're welcome.
More importantly, Dante, how are you? What's going on? Give us a rundown.
There isn't much of a rundown.
Yeah,
we kind of briefed about it before the podcast. I think I have a terrible memory. I've always had a terrible memory, but recently, like, you were like, what? Like, how was the past week? I'm like, I don't even know what I did this past week, and I think that's because I didn't do anything this past week.
I'll do it. No Cino or nothing.
No, not this weekend.
They missed you there.
No, my friend did ask if I wanted to go last Thursday, and I told him that he had a problem, and we can't go.
Look at you.
I know. Who would have thought, right? But no, just chilling, hanging out. The weather's beautiful today.
Oh,
weather is
God.
very nice.
We don't gotta blast the AC.
Don't
yet,
have
at least.
to blast it. Coffee's good this morning from
Huge.
Duncan. Shout out Duncan. Went to the beach last night with my girlfriend.
Huge.
Got to watch the sunset. So that was nice. And yeah, that's really it for me. How about you?
Killer. Actually kind of packed. I went to. I feel like I've talked ad nauseum about this, but hit the Reset concert series. I went to day one or night one, whatever. It was fucking sick.
Yeah.
It was so the area they had it at, this big open field, this huge stage. There was so much room.
Where was it again?
Yeah, I don't know if I want.
Yeah, that's fair. Was it like an
fair.
open, like a festival type of thing?
Yeah. It's exact. It felt like it was. Yeah, I guess it was like a festival. It had this big open field. It was. I'll tell you after where it was. You'll know where it is. But if the Reset concert series comes to you, I definitely recommend going because let me give you a rundown of the nights. Night one, which is the only night I went to, missed Fouché, but got to see Toro y Moi, who was fucking sick live. James Blake.
Nice.
He did his cover of Godspeed by Frank Ocean. No. Oh my fucking God. He's so good. It was crazy.
That must have been beautiful. Oh my goodness.
And then Steve Lacy to end the night, which was unreal.
I bet he's really good in live.
That's my second time seeing him live. My friend's third time seeing him. But then, like, obviously Bad Habit is the hit. Yeah. And then, he does Bad Habit second to last. And then, you're like, oh, here's Bad Habit. Here's the TikTok song.
Yeah.
But then he does it and you're like, I bite my
tongue.
It's
a lot different.
It's
a different vibe for sure. Yeah.
So that was amazing. Night two, which I didn't go to, is Idols, LCD Sound System, and then a couple other like indie bands I didn't know. But night three is Dijon, Claro, Boy Genius, which I wanted to go to. I'm not too familiar with Boy. I know who Boy Genius is. I'm not too familiar with them. I fuck with Claro. Yeah. Dijon is my goat. But Claro would have been sick to see in the city. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Like,
that would have been cool.
Other than that, then I saw The Flash last night. The Flash was solid.
Yeah, I feel like
good.
I feel like that movie has gotten a lot of mixed reviews. I feel like I feel like it was hyped up. It looked like it was going to be like one of the best movies of the year. I haven't seen it yet, but like from what I'm hearing about it, it seems like it's a fine movie, but it's not as good as it was kind of hyped up to be.
I've seen a lot of people either saying like it's sick, it's awesome, or it's awful.
Right.
It's not as bad as people are saying.
There are also people that are saying like it's awful because of the lead actor, which I totally understand.
For sure,
like,
that's
I get that perspective, but
I definitely don't support. What did I say his name? Ezra Miller.
Yeah. He's a scumbag. But yeah, I have to see it. I'm very interested to see how I think of it. I guess
I'm just a big. I think I gave it 3.5 on Letterboxd, which I might cut it. I might cut it down to 3.
Okay,
you know what I mean? I always get I'm always hyped up.
3.5 is above average.
3.5 is good.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's the way, I mean, everyone already knows Batman and Michael Keaton's in it, so this isn't a spoiler, but my review was, it's a really, really fun Batman movie with a little too much flash. A little too much, you know? Yeah. But that's anyway, funny. I won't drudge on about that, but, you know, nice little Ticket Tuesday date, you know?
Dude, nothing wrong with Ticket Tuesdays. But all right.
We got some wrestling to get into.
We got a lot of wrestling to talk about.
Before we dive in, if you want to listen to this audio version, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, all of that. Actually, but to be honest, we plug all that, but it benefits the most as of right now to watch it on YouTube. So keep watching.
keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep watching on YouTube.
If you want to help us out with Spotify, all those other places, we appreciate it.
If you need it on the drive, you know, we wouldn't blame you.
If you're driving and you miss us, you just want to hear our soothing voices, get you to work, or wherever you're going, throw us on.
Leave a rating, subscribe, follow us, all of that stuff.
You know what to do.
We're going to start out with the most recent event.
Okay.
Seth Rollins makes his way down to NXT, and he defeats Bron Breakker in a banger of a match.
Such a good match.
To retain the World Heavyweight Championship. Afterwards, Finn Balor comes down, attacks Seth post-match. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams.
Trick Williams.
I don't know where Trick Mello came from. Trick Williams comes down to make the save. Really, really just, I mean, everyone knew Breakker wasn't going to win. This seems like his catapult into the main roster, maybe.
I feel like it's kind of just like getting people more familiar with his name and stuff like that.
And get people to watch NXT with Seth, you know.
I'll tell you something. I actually genuinely want to start watching NXT because they have some good stuff going on.
I know. It seems like they're taking a turn.
They recently, like over the last few months, Carmelo Hayes has done some he's a Massachusetts kid, so shout out to Carmelo Hayes. He was like, you know, dream opponents when you go to the main roster one day, whatever. And Seth Rollins is always his answer. And during the show, like they had like a little backstage segment. They had like a little, you know, like an interaction. And then this match happened, which was awesome. I really like Bron Breakker, and I'm very happy that they turned him heel because he was a good face, but just like his style of wrestling and just his look is just. He's a perfect heel. Like
he's a classic wrestler. He's 100%.
I think that just suits him better, that heel character. And like his moveset is great. He just looks like he's gonna rip you apart. He's athletic as shit. He's got a lot of good things going on for him. He really does.
I think I'm gonna grow to regret not seeing as much Carmelo Hayes and Bron Breakker era NXT as I have.
This is like, you know? This era of NXT, that's like the Adam Coles,
right?
The Johnny Gargano, you know, that's like who they are right now, like the importance of it.
For sure.
I mean, Carmelo Hayes, I mean, he's the world champ now, and it seems like hopefully he has a long run, so we could jump on. That's what
I'm saying. I'll be tuning into the Carmelo, especially, you know, he's the hometown boy.
Yeah, I bet we're gonna see maybe Seth Rollins goes back down to NXT, maybe because obviously they made the save at the end. Maybe they do like a Bron Breakker, Finn Balor, Seth Carmelo thing. Maybe I don't know. You can mess around with that.
I saw a comparison on Twitter because I guess there was like a backstage segment where like Seth and Carmelo had like a little like face to face or whatever, and they compared it to when CM Punk had the WWE Championship and Seth had the NXT title, and it was a little.
That's cool. I mean? That's a cool comparison.
But yeah, I mean, like it was a really. I might have to run back the whole thing. I didn't see the whole thing, but. Solid. It builds the story. Everyone knew Breakker was losing. Would have been insane if he won.
Yeah, it would have been nuts.
But it accomplished everything it needed. It accomplished establishing Bron Breakker as a more household name, made him look great. They had a banger of a match, and also we're building more to Finn and Seth at Money in the Bank.
Right. And you had the little Carmelo Seth tease. So
exactly.
You hit 3 birds, 1 stone.
Before we dive into more of the weekly shows, I do want to touch on AEW Collision. I don't know if you saw any of it. No, I did. I recorded it. Watched a little bit.
I've seen what happened and stuff. Like I know the results and everything, but I didn't get a chance to watch it.
I only really want to talk about CM Punk and the CM Punk match.
Okay.
I'm sure you saw clips of his promo.
I did. I watched the entire promo.
Same.
Yeah.
It was, people are hyping it up. People are hyping it up. Okay. It's a fine promo.
I'll be honest with you.
It wasn't even, it was like fine.
I listened to the promo and then like I was seeing people's reactions on Twitter and people like, he's him.
Bro,
he's the GOAT. He's this. I was like, the promo was fine.
It was arguably one of his worst
It
promos.
didn't do anything. Like the only thing I got from it was that he has the AEW championship still in the bag, and he is like, I'm not. Which he's like, until I lose, I'm gonna hold on to it. Which I think is
He never pulled it out though.
Never pulled it out. I think it's just kind of like.
I don't think there's anything. I think there's no shot. There's a belt in it.
It could be like the TNT belt or something. Like not even the AEW belt. Which I would imagine is gonna eventually lead to CM Punk versus MJF and like unificate whatever the fuck you want at All In, which should be the match because that's what that's the match you should want. But yeah, I don't know. There wasn't like, I mean, he took his digs. He made the Young Bucks.
Counterfeit Bucks was like the biggest takeaway.
Yeah, that was like the biggest bar, which I was like, okay, cool. Everything else, like, he kept saying something over and over again. He was like,
tell me when I'm lying.
Tell me when I'm lying.
Or some shit.
Like,
I liked that. I kind of liked it.
There was one part where he like said
or
something.
Tell me when I'm telling lies or something like that. Whatever it was.
Something along those lines. But it was just like, I don't know. The promo didn't do it for me. Like,
Same.
I'm happy he's back. Like, he definitely is going to make a difference for sure. Like, he's a needle mover. He's a guy that when he's on TV, you want to watch. You're always interested in what he's saying. But I don't know. It was fine. I don't think it was a groundbreaking promo. It's like, oh my God, CM Punk. That's what we've been waiting. That's what we waited a year for. Like, that's the CM Punk I remember. No.
Yeah.
Not for me.
I agree.
It was good, but not for me.
Yeah. And then, I mean, even you say needle mover, if you look toward the match, and I'm not just trying to be negative and nitpicky and whatever. I feel like sometimes as a podcast and as critiquing watching wrestling, maybe we come off as it, but man, did he not look good?
I didn't watch the match.
He did not look too good.
That's probably why they booked a 6-man tag for his first match.
They very, very much hit him and kept him reserved for the match. He did his spots, and the spots he did have, he looked good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he looked pretty winded to me.
Yeah.
You know, and I get it. Everyone's defending, saying, you know, give him some time. He's rusty, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if you get in a wrestling ring if you're rusty. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you are rusty. The live crowd makes a difference. It makes a big difference. I don't want to discredit that. But I'm just saying, you have a standard if you're the best in the world to come back and like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I just had. I think I had my expectations a little bit too high, but not to my fault because they hyped this up as Punk is back, and then he gives us like a so-so promo, and then he gives us like a fine main event where he was kind of hidden the whole time, and like, you know, I don't know.
I understand where you're coming from.
It was. I don't want to say because overall Collision was a solid show. As much as I'm like kind of shitting on the CM Punk stuff, Collision was good. My only thing is I still don't know how it's separate, and I don't think they're doing a brand split at this point. Like we can stop talking about the brand split, whatever. But I still don't know how it's gonna. It has to differentiate in some way.
Yeah. I don't understand the purpose of it still.
It's a solid show. Like it was, but I think because Rampage at first started was a solid show.
Right.
They had
CM Punk. I think it was like Homecoming or something like that.
They had Punk on Rampage. I'm pretty sure we even saw Kenny matches on Rampage.
Yeah.
Like, and then
Mox,
exactly. And then you see less and less of that. And I'm afraid that's what's going to happen to Collision. Collision's going to be hot for a month or two. They're going to put all these big matches, and they're going to be like, well, we want to have all these big matches on Dynamite more. Right. You know what I mean? Right. I just don't know.
And then what's going to happen to Rampage?
And I don't even like the idea of like, you know, we have to keep the Elite here and CM Punk here. Like that's stupid.
Because there are rumors that CM Punk's going to be on Dynamite tonight.
Oh, really?
And then the Elite aren't going to be in the building for it because he's there, essentially.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know how true it is, but
what I do like about AEW is they always post. I like that they post the card beforehand. Let's see if we can get okay. I mean, obviously, I guess this wouldn't say the rumor, but let's see what we're looking at tonight. We got obviously a lot of Forbidden Door builds. We got, holy shit, we got Orange Cassidy and Shibata teaming up. We got the trios match with, they're doing like JAS and Andretti, Hardys and Guns, Statlander and Valkyrie. We'll hear from Eddie Kingston. Danielson calls out Okada. Draw for the Blind Eliminator tournament for the tag titles, and then Adam Cole speaks, blah, blah. Honestly, not looking like exciting Dynamite.
Yeah,
it looks fine.
I think maybe all their focus is on Collision right now. Honestly, they're just building towards Forbidden Door.
But I don't know. I don't want to dread on. I don't want to dread on it. It was solid for what it was. I loved like at the end. There's all the pictures flying around of Punk holding up the support LGBTQ trans youth. I think is what it was. Yeah. So like obviously there are positives, and Punk seems like a positive to have to be around. I just
to me the only
I'm gonna give it time.
The only thing I see Collision doing is just giving more talent, more opportunities. Like the Miro's,
we got to see Samoa Joe on TV. We got to see Miro,
but at the same time, it's like it's just they're doing a lot, and I feel like they're getting ahead of themselves because now you have Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision. You got rid of Dark. You got rid of
which is good, I think.
Which I think is good. Yeah, you're right.
But I think it served when it was just like Dynamite and Dark. Like Dark in that served its purpose to give like it was like their mini NXT where they'd have like these like lesser known people fight and whatever. But
yeah, because now they have 3 TV shows, and it's like okay, what makes each one different from each other? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just confusing to me. That's all.
But
give it time.
That's what I'm saying. As much as we can critique it now, give it time. Yes, Punk was rusty. I was expecting a little more, but he's older.
He's like
ring rust. So it's like, what can I really say? I'm just kind of it's what I saw, but you get it. Anyway, we'll move on from that. I think that's all I had.
Anything else from that show? Oh, Luchasaurus won the TNT
Oh yeah,
belt.
I wasn't even going to talk about the rest of the show, but
it's just
Luchasaurus has got it.
It's just a shame. It's just it really is a shame. It's like that title has just no value whatsoever.
Unless they do it looks like they're keeping it in the feud.
No, we've been saying that about Wardlow in this run, and then he had Arn Anderson with them, and then that everyone's like, oh, the tide's turning, and then that lost the belt. I don't know, dude. I'm just so not invested in the TNT belt at all. I mean, I've been saying this for months, but it's just they keep backing up my claims. They're the ones that's giving me all this fuel to back it up. So I mean, it's
I'll be curious if they keep with the feud, then at least we have the feud out of it. But if it's like if Luchasaurus moves on to like similar like facing random people, dropping it, then like I mean either way I get where you're coming from, but it's no international championship like my man OC's got.
No.
Anyway, and like that was other good. Like I said, overall it was a good show. But again, you can have a really good show, but then you're just like, okay, well, what did I watch? What
do I get from that?
So I don't know.
All right,
Friday Night SmackDown. The A show.
Yep.
A show is on Fridays.
Yep, that's what they say.
We're not touching on everything. There's some stuff to breeze over. I think we're just gonna hit the beat. Same thing with Raw, but Pretty Deadly earn a tag team title match against KO and Sami. They won the Eliminator, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah, the gauntlet.
Yeah,
I like it. I like that.
Solid. They've been great since the call up.
Yeah,
they really have. They've been just a solid. Just like it's. And I hate to say it, but it's what Breeze and Fandango should have been or wanted to aspire to in terms of like the level of heat or like I get it's not the same gimmick, but it's like, they're like the fashion pretty boys or whatever.
They're similar.
But Pretty Deadly's doing a good job of like there was this one thing where KO and Sami came down and they just took a petty jab at him. They're like, how come your hair is more greasy than mine and we just wrestled in a match or some shit like that, No, I like him. I don't know when this match is going to take place. Money in the Bank, maybe. I mean, that
would make sense. But I don't know. But yeah, I'm happy. New challengers, new opponents for KO and Sami. I think that they have a bright future on the main roster. Pretty Deadly, honestly.
I think so too. I'll be curious. I don't think they're going to win, but I think it's going to be a competitive match. I think it's going to be similar to like the Braun Breaker and Seth match, where it's like Breaker's not going to win, but he's going to be able to show like, I can fucking go,
right? Especially going up against Kevin and Sami,
right?
That should be a really good match.
Bayley costs Iyo Sky a win over Zelina Vega. Later on, Shotzi challenges Bayley for her Money in the Bank spot, and Iyo accepts on her behalf. Just more damage control, cracks. Dakota Kai obviously still absent. Saw on Instagram though she's out of her back brace.
She is,
or neck brace or back brace, whatever it was. I don't know.
Knee brace. She tore her ACL.
Oh, for some reason I read. You're probably right. For some reason I read back brace, but you're probably right.
Well, she's out of her brace.
She's out of her brace. She's out of her full body brace.
Yeah. Bubble wrap.
I mean, just more cracks. I wouldn't be surprised if Bayley ends up. It seems like they're building to, because Bayley has been costing Iyo the matches lately. Wouldn't be surprised if Bayley loses her Money in the Bank spot because of Iyo, and then we kind of get some Iyo and Bayley stuff.
Right.
The only thing I'm worried about is if they're going all in with that feud. I'm nervous that's gonna be like, oh, we don't have to have Iyo win the Money in the Bank because she's doing this feud and story with Bayley. I hope this doesn't take away from that.
Yeah,
I want Iyo to win.
I wonder if Bayley's gonna get her spot taken away from her. She keeps it, and then like during the match, you can kind of like progress that feud where it's like Iyo costs Bayley or something like that, or Bayley costs Iyo, whatever. I mean, I would like it. I would like the scenario to be Bayley wins, like whatever, and she's just like, talks her shit, like, I can back it up, whatever, and then the match comes along. Bayley's about to win, and then Iyo turns on her and wins it herself. And then you can still have like a SummerSlam match.
Exactly.
And Iyo can still be. You can do it for the briefcase if you want. So
I would much rather them do this story in the match.
I agree.
Than just
because if Bayley's not in the match, what I think would happen is Bayley would come down like thinking she's gonna help Iyo, and then turn on her, and then Iyo loses.
Right. Yeah.
That's why
they go either way. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be one of those two situations.
And also, I'd rather see Bayley in the match than Shotzi. Like no disrespect to Shotzi, but like
Shotzi.
Bayley's the one that's
makes
built
it more
up.
legitimate.
She's the veteran.
Yeah, 1000%.
Okay. I mean, we just wanted to get here.
Yeah.
The Bloodline. Oh my fucking god!
Dude,
the Bloodline is over.
One of the Oscars.
Good question. I feel like they kind of just happened, but we got some time before.
We have some early submissions,
some nominations.
Because let me tell you something, Jey Uso should be nominated for every award,
and Jimmy too,
Jimmy too. But Jey, man,
Let me give you the beat by beat here. We'll talk about it. So we got Jimmy and Ray in the ring. Sorry, Jimmy and Ray. What did I say? Roman and Jay. We got Roman and Jay in the ring. They're grooming Jay. It's the whole thing of Jay's being groomed, and Roman's like, we're grooming you into the next tribal chief, blah, blah, blah. Jimmy comes down and says, they're not grooming you for the better, blah, blah, blah. Roman is the problem. Our cousin is the problem.
Yep.
Jay kind of snaps back at Jimmy, and I loved this. There was like this, like, you got this sense of like this brotherly qualm, if you will, of Jay is like, Mr. Star Athlete, Mr. Most Likely to Succeed, Mr. This, and how kind of presenting. I'm assuming Jimmy's older, the older brother. Well, they're twins.
Well, they're twins, but I think
who's technically older?
Jimmy is technically older. Yeah.
Because I'm a spoiler. Not spoiler. What did I say? I'm a twin.
You are a twin,
and I'm 20 minutes older. So there's technically
there's
technically an older and a younger. They don't just kind of come out at the same time.
I guess so. Yeah, I never really thought of it that way. I actually forgot you were a twin.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
But anyway. Jay snaps back, says all this, similar to, I guess, it's different, but like similar to that of he's an older brother, he's the more successful brother, whatever. He said throughout high school and all this, you had this, you were more accomplished, but then when you got hurt, I stepped up.
Yep.
I became main event Jey Uso because of Roman Reigns. I stepped up, I main evented these matches, I won X, Y, and Z, whatever. Jimmy's looking pretty defeated, and now you're thinking, oh shit, Jay realizes like he's been more successful with Roman than he has been with Jimmy.
Too, because they were talking about the whole right-hand man thing. He was like, there was one person who was against making you the right-hand man, and that was Jimmy.
Yes.
And then Jimmy was just like, it was because of this, that. It was because it wasn't,
So you're really splitting. I wouldn't, at this point, you're like, I wouldn't blame Jay for, whatever. Right. He goes to Jimmy and just said, oh my fucking God.
This was lit.
So guess what? You out. And I'm out too.
Boom.
Turns around, super kicks Roman. Holy shit. The crowd
pop.
Goes fucking ballistic. Solo runs after Jay. Jay ducks. Jimmy, super kick to Solo. Holy shit. And just like the amped up energy, like you can like, I think Jay started hitting high knees.
Yeah,
like,
they were hyped. Yeah.
You can tell they fucking like they knew they nailed the segment.
Oh
like,
yeah,
they're like,
big
we
time.
fucking nailed it.
And then
I was gonna say, Solo gets back up, double super kick to Solo, and then Roman he's he's on his knees and he's just yelling at him. He's pissed. He's screaming, and then just the biggest double super kick in history.
Killed him.
It was like
it killed Roman.
It was like fucking what's the I mean this is a Dragon Ball Z reference, but it was like
can't
the
help you here.
It was
I can't.
Yeah, fuck. It was like I think a kid the kid Goku and then do the fusion.
Oh, they do. Okay, I know
Trunks,
that motion.
I think Trunks and I can't believe
I don't know shit about
Trunks
that.
and Baby Goku or what?
Someone help us.
Ever.
Someone explain.
And
this.
they fuse together and make the one whatever.
Someone help John in the comments.
I'm gonna get shit on that anyway.
But those
sold it like fucking death.
Roman
bro.
looked like he folded like a folding chair,
just
bro.
Smack.
Just the acting from everyone involved.
Holy shit!
I love Paul Heyman. Like he was like in the background of the announce table, just like looking and stuff like that. So upset. Solo Sikoa, the look of shock after it happened, the excitement from Jimmy and Jay. It was perfect. It was perfect. You're looking this up right now.
Yeah, keep going.
Trunks fusion.
But who did Trunks fuse with? keep going.
This was almost 3 years in the making, and it paid off.
Goten.
Holy
shit! It was Goten. Oh, got it. Trunks and Goten fused together, and they created Go Tanks.
Yeah,
that's what
sounds right to me.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, of course. Go Tanks.
Go Tanks is fucking sick.
How could I forget? Dragon Ball Z is in Fortnite. They've added like a lot of anime stuff in Fortnite.
They've added everything in Fortnite.
Yeah, they got a lot of Dragon Ball Z stuff. They have that emote. That's why I knew what you were talking about because that emote is in the game.
Look how sick Go Tanks is, bro.
He is. Yeah, that's
anyway,
cool.
What were you saying about Roman?
I was just saying that was 3 years in the making. The payoff was so worth it. And now we're getting Bloodline Civil War.
The Bloodline Civil War. So cool. The poster is crazy. I'm sure you've seen it, but
I don't know if you saw this tweet. I think it's 10 years. It was 2013. Pre-show match at Money in the Bank. It was the Usos versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns for the tag team titles when they were in the Shield.
Wow.
And 10 years later, they're gonna main event Money in the Bank in London.
Oh my
Civil War.
Dude.
That's sick. That's so
sick.
Cool.
It's so fucking
Who will
cool.
be the ones?
Wow.
Nuts.
I didn't even read that. Who will be the ones? So we can talk about it right now. Who do you think's gonna win?
Okay, so
I'm sure you got a fantasy thing.
Well, I do.
Yeah.
I definitely do because SummerSlam's coming up. I think at this point it's very much not confirmed, but like we're going in the direction he's not going to defend the title against anyone but one of someone in his family. He's
gotta
not
be.
Bobby Lashley. Cody isn't stepping up. AJ Styles.
Cody's got to get through Dom Mysterio somehow.
Cody's gonna get killed by Dom at Money in the Bank, so he's gonna be unavailable for SummerSlam. I think what should happen. So we talked about this at Night of Champions. We said it would have been the perfect time for Roman to get pinned because you don't lose the belts, you advance the story. Like it's a big deal him losing, him getting pinned, but he doesn't lose like the 1,000-day reign, whatever. We thought that was the perfect time. This match right here is the match where Roman Reigns should get pinned because if he gets pinned, that's going to lead into, let's say Jimmy pins him. Jimmy versus Reigns at SummerSlam. Jay pins him. Jay versus Roman.
He needs to get pinned. He needs to get pinned.
I'm going to go on a tangent here.
Okay.
I can see two things happening. One, I would like it to be not a one-on-one match because I don't want it to be Jay versus Roman because I feel like Jimmy should be involved as well. I would like it to be some sort of like triple threat fatal four-way match. How you can do that is have Roman get pinned by Jimmy or Jay and they both are like, oh, we won, we both won, we deserve a shot.
Right.
Or during the match, Solo turns on Roman and that leads to Roman. So it's a little bit more like fuckery. So it's like, okay, Roman got pinned, but he got turned on and stuff. So you can kind of like he gets pinned, but you can kind of like back it up a little bit, and then that could lead to a fatal 4-way.
I really see Solo sticking with Roman. I really see him staying on the Titanic.
So I do think that you can extend that for a little bit. You don't have to rush that. And seeing how the storyline's going, they don't rush things. So I don't think that's gonna happen, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I still do believe that Roman should get pinned here because that will lead to a championship match at SummerSlam. Because it's like, Roman could be like, why do you guys deserve a match? Well, it's like, we pinned you. That's why we deserve a match.
We're first to pin you since XY, whatever.
Exactly. So I believe this is the perfect time. So I want the Usos to win, but I think this is the perfect time for Roman to eat the pin. Because you don't lose momentum.
Because what happens if Roman and Solo win? Then it's like, then what?
Now, you diminish the Usos and everything that just happened. Like, of course, like Roman's reign of terror continues, and he can continue to be like, I'm the whatever. But
unless they take a real, not even a turn, but just like a side road, and like there's rumor because there's more family members, So unless like
a debut or
other people like get brought in, which at this point I kind of want to see this Usos story play out instead of like, because if they bring in more people or they extend this thing and don't do the matches that we want it to lead to,
right?
I'm not saying they've done a good job of not making it stale, but I think we see like come on, we were right, what I mean?
I think you can definitely extend this. I don't want to see any more family members added until like Roman loses, because at that point, if you add, you're just adding layers.
Or like once we're closer to Mania, then it's like if you want to add more to the story of
sure, because like Solo being added kind of extended and freshened things up. Because once he got added, he helped Roman beat Drew. He helped Roman beat
and even
Cody
like
at Mania.
Even I mean like not technically a family member, but like Sami being added was the gasoline to this whole thing. You know what I mean?
Add
we wouldn't be
else.
Here without Sami.
Exactly.
With that, you know what I mean? So it's like one critique, which I'm curious what your take on this. I'm seeing a lot of people, and I don't know if I agree or not. I'm definitely closer to agreeing than disagreeing with this, but with all of this and with the events that unfolded on SmackDown, what we're getting at Money in the Bank, should Cody Rhodes have won at Mania? Because what do they need the belts for right now? So you would have gotten that crazy payoff of Cody winning at Mania, and that would have been the first crack, because it would have been the same story.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But you would have had that big payoff of Cody. Then Cody would be facing Dominic Mysterio for the titles or whatever.
That stays the same, So
at least they'd have the titles there. They'd have the titles doing something else. But then you have this amazing Bloodline story where Roman was already... Because Roman, there were cracks at Mania anyway. Right. So when you could have lost the titles, and then he lost, didn't get pinned or whatever, but still, still goes on a losing thing, but it just starts a little earlier, but then you know what I mean? I'm kind of in the camp right now where Cody should have won.
That makes sense. It's like he hasn't defended the belt since Mania, so it's like the belt really hasn't carried much weight. It carries weight, but you know what I mean. It's that's not like the piece. That's not like what's the storyline.
It's not the focal point.
Exactly.
Right
yes. Exactly. It's more of a back. What do you call it? Afterthought. Yeah.
Granted, which obviously time, we'll see what happens. If because I do believe what you think is going to play out with like the Jay and stuff like that, then having the title match, because they could have done the same thing where Jay versus Roman and Jay wins and dethrones him. It would have been as big of a title match of a dethroning, but maybe it is nice to keep the titles involved. Also, because I'm curious what you think about that, but while it's just on my mind, I'm just curious about it, because no one's talking about this, and I'm really curious why no one's talking about this. Why the fuck are the other two titles still there? Paul Heyman was holding the other two titles.
Yeah. Okay.
Why the fuck?
Roman 3 belts. Come on.
Why does he have 3 championships?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay.
Why are the other 2 titles
Let's
there?
start with the first thing. Okay. I agree with you, because it's like, I agree with you in the sense of like, I understand why it's confusing why he still has the belt, because like obviously if Cody won at Mania, it would have been one of the biggest pops, would have been such a great moment, because the belt is an afterthought in this feud, like I said, but I think having the belt is kind of like Roman wouldn't be the tribal chief without the belt. So I think just how the story's going.
And he hasn't had the big loss yet, so it kind of makes him still feel like Thanos.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. And I'm trying to think because like I agree. Like I agree with you. I'm trying to like justify why the reason why I justify is because they won the history. They won the 1,000 days. Which, whatever. Sure. I get that. That makes me go back to the whole. He could have lost the WWE Championship, retained the Universal Championship. But that's a whole. We're long past that.
That's so crazy how far past we like. So that's like
I was all for split them. The Rock one night, Cody the other. And
we're like in a different multiverse.
We're in a completely different universe now. But I just think like that belt is so synonymous with Roman Reigns and his whole tribal chief character that I think the storyline is what it is because he's the champ. Do I believe that they could have kept this going without the belt? Absolutely. But I just think from day one, once this whole thing started, it's been set in stone. This is how long it's going to go. This is what's going to happen. And it started with him winning the belts, and I don't think this whole thing is going to end until he loses the belts. You know, whether it's one of the Usos beating him or Cody, something, I don't think this is going to end until Roman loses the belt. And they could have done it earlier on, but just the way this whole thing's going, they're extending it. They want to make this the most memorable story in wrestling history, and this is how they're doing it. Could they have gotten this payoff if Roman wasn't the champ? I don't know. Obviously, it's a hypothetical, you know what I mean? But I think because of Roman winning at Mania, and just because because if he lost at Mania, he wouldn't be considered this untouchable god that he still is right now.
He was able to kind of swing his dick around for the last 2 or 3 months.
Exactly. So I think that adds to the whole Usos turning on him, bigger payoff there. It would have been a huge payoff still, but I think him being the champ just adds more to it. So that's my thoughts there.
I think we're on the same page. I think I can wrap that because I think we're exactly on the same page. Let me wrap that up in a little bow. Is what I think we're saying.
I'm still conflicted about whether Cody should have won or not. I genuinely am. I go back and forth with that.
I think we both think that Cody winning would have been a good idea and would have been great, but I don't think we're as critical because we have so much faith in the story.
Exactly.
Where it's like, yes, Cody winning, I can say yes, it would have been the right decision. Yes, it would have been the right decision. But I'm not saying that Roman winning was the wrong decision because we still have all this faith in the story that it's still going to be good with the decisions they've been making. Do I think they could have made different decisions? Of course, but the faith outweighs the selfishness. I think, you know what I mean?
No, I agree. And I think
that's where we're at.
I think like Roman winning at Mania put him into that god status, which I think he needed to get to one, be considered one of the greats that they're hyping him up as, and two, to make that when he does lose the belts feel more important. And this goes into the whole thing of Cody versus Roman again at Mania. Like, yeah, he didn't win it the first time. Would the second time, would he get as big of a reaction a year later? I still believe he would, because it's like, so Roman, he won the Universal belt to Payback after SummerSlam. He beats Daniel Bryan and Edge at Mania. That's like his, oh shit, okay. Yeah. He's the guy. Then he unifies the belts against Brock. It's like, okay, this guy is like top dog. No one's on his level. Then he beats Cody. It's like, he's a god.
And he's untouchable. Is there, yeah.
So that's why, like, again, at the time, I get it. Like, Cody, that win would have been monumental, would have been huge, would have been a massive, massive moment. But I still believe that they can create that, recreate that, if not make it bigger, if they do that, which I believe they are. But because it's like
at this point now we're past that Mania. I mean, it's early in the year, obviously, but next Mania is next Mania.
That's the thing. People
I'll still be
people
happy.
are upset in the moment,
right?
But then as time goes on, we'll get to next Mania, and people will be like, "Oh, we're here."
Because the biggest critique is like, they're not going to get the biggest pop. It's a year away. If it happens at next Mania, it's going to be a huge pop.
Also, I'm not trying to like say like, oh, the Los Angeles crowd wasn't good or anything. But one, it's going to be WrestleMania 40. So that's going to be a big hyped up event.
Philly.
And it's in Philly.
I want to go. So we have.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. But like, I just think that moment is gonna be just as big as it would have been if he won.
Yeah, I think so too.
So just going back to everything, like Roman being the champ, I just think it just continues his legacy and just people viewing him, people perceiving him as a actual god.
Mm-hmm.
He's untouchable. Now, Roman 3 belts.
Yeah, why the fuck does he have these belts?
So, unpopular opinion, I kind of dig it.
It's I hate
because Roman is the one holding the one main belt. And
it looks
Paul
great.
If Roman had all 3, I'd agree because they all look
so
the same.
funny if he had all 3.
Well, I thought it was a 6 shot of him sitting there,
cool.
and it was the belt and the 2 there. I thought that was really cool.
I get it. Visually, it looks cool.
But it makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Because those 2 shouldn't exist
Because
anymore.
the reason they gave him that one was because
they fused them together.
And it says on the belt, it says unified on it. So
they made Go tanks.
Yeah, they did.
Belt.
They literally did. So I agree. It's weird, but I like it because it looks sick. And I just think it just
visually,
it's Roman. That's it. It's just also I kind of like it too because because I said I think this is gonna be Roman's belt. Like this is his special belt. So I think if you keep these belts along, let's say Cody wins at Mania, he just takes those 2 belts or whatever and like celebrates with those.
You know what's crazy
what I mean?
too? Everyone, I'm not saying we're not guilty of it. Like everyone in the wrestling community speaks in facts. Like, so and so is gonna win it, and then this is gonna happen. Right. Like I try not to do. Like we have a wrestling podcast, so we fall into the trap of it. But it is my favorite thing to see. Especially when we're talking about the belts and talking about this belt in particular. And people will be like, don't worry. Cody's going to win at WrestleMania and bring back Big Eagle. Yeah. What are you talking about? What are you insane? What are you talking about?
What do you know?
And like so many people, what are you looking to the future?
Yeah.
So many people say it just like, Cody's going to bring back Big Gold. Or don't worry. Cody's going to bring back the Winged Eagle. What are you talking about? What do you mean?
That's what people were saying at 39. They thought he was going to win. They were so dead set on it.
First of all, he's not going to bring back. Even if he win, he might. Would he bring a different design? I don't know. Maybe they just not because they just changed the design.
Look at the way WWE does their belts. They literally
that's assumed. Sorry, I didn't cut you off.
No,
that's assuming that WWE also hates the design.
Yeah,
like it's not going to be this thing where Cody's going to win and WWE is going to be like, thank God Cody won, so he can bring back a good design.
And then what they're going to give the woman another belt that looks exactly the same. Like you just introduced the woman's belt that looks exactly like it. So like it's probably going to stay the same most likely.
It's so funny.
But yeah, I can't act like we know what's going to happen in the future. I mean, just this storyline alone. I mean, in wrestling anything could happen, but this storyline alone, I think people should realize that you can't get your hopes up for something because you never know.
Look at months ago, pre-Mania, when we first got our little reboot here. We've been talking about the Bloodline every single podcast, but like think of what we were saying like back then. I mean, back then we were even obviously because of Mania it was a little more hyped up, but we all along there's always been hints of like we want it to end with Jay and all this stuff, but we never knew like the Sami stuff would go the way it did. We never thought like when all this was good, we never thought Cody would be the fucking one to come in and you know what I mean. Then there were talks of The Rock, and then you know what I mean. There's been so much stuff that we've talked about and a lot of stuff we've been right about, a lot of stuff we've been wrong about. And it's crazy to look back. Like, I'd be curious to listen to an old episode of the podcast, like when there's like, we're like maybe like, I don't know, months ago when we're in the middle, less to where we are in the Bloodline story and think about what we were predicting back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, probably were wrong about a few things. Could have been right about a few things.
I was going to say, but right about some stuff.
A few things, yeah.
All right, okay. We'll move on. Wow, holy shit.
Yeah, hey, the Bloodline.
I mean, that's the whole pod. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, the A show is on Friday. That's the thing.
That's what they say.
Raw is not. I mean, they have this. Raw is solid, but they don't have this fucking story. You know what I mean?
That's the benefit of having Roman on your roster.
Okay. The beginning of Raw, it bled into NXT anyway, but Seth comes out and Finn attacks him and blah blah blah. Obviously they're not going to do a promo because we know how that went, so they're just gonna brawl. Seth and Finn, bada bing bada boom, led to NXT, blah blah blah. The Miz is pissed because that means that Seth was, which also we didn't really talk about in the Braun Breaker match, but Seth was wrestling all bandaged up. He was supposedly probably kayfabe injured.
Yep.
But that meant there'd be no open challenge on Raw. The Miz is pissed.
Okay, you wanted
to accept it. And I was looking at his still, I don't know if hilarious is the word. I think I don't like it, but it's to the point where it's so over the top that it's crazy.
There's no.
My balls are massive. Who's gonna buy that?
There are definitely people that have, and if you wear that in public,
it says something on the back too that I forgot. Like on the front, it says my balls are massive, and on the back it says like, it's true or some shit like that. It says it's something like that.
Yeah, I don't. You can't. You wouldn't see me wearing
Crazy
that shirt anywhere.
It's no SCW shirt. Let me tell you that. Get that one small. Oh yeah, good plug. Is there still that one small left?
I have no idea.
There's one. All right, there's someone out there has got to be.
So just take it. Just
this. We have cut one
it up.
Small
use
left.
it as like a cleaning rag or something. Just get it.
Someone get that last.
So just so we can say
small.
that we sold out. Please.
But anyway, Tommaso Ciampa comes out returning. Tommaso Ciampa. Obviously, him and the Miz have a lot of history. Ciampa beats Miz.
Yeah,
Miz is the fall guy again.
I mean,
tough, but this one at least seemed worth it. But I mean,
big return.
Yeah,
like Ciampa.
Solid. Ciampa's back. I hope they do. Did he? I kind of missed it. Did he come out with the full? I hate when he was wearing.
I think so.
I hate his jacket.
What, the jacket?
Yeah, like the lime green. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think it was that one. I think it was the one he wore in NXT.
Because when he was with that I don't mind. But when he was with the Miz, remember he was wearing like a Miz-esque
yes, I know exactly.
Coat, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't that.
Okay, cool.
I want to see if I can.
Either way, sucks to see. I mean, I'm 50-50 on it because, hey, Ciampa, we got Ciampa back. I hope he does something notable. Throw him against Gunther.
That jacket.
Oh, okay, solid.
NXT
okay,
look,
word.
Yeah.
Throw him against Gunther. Get him in the mix. The Miz is. I don't know why the Miz is becoming the Dolph Ziggler.
When was the last time you got a win?
It's a great question. I don't know. I don't even want to look it up. But
become a Dolph Ziggler. That's a good comparison.
I don't know. I think the Miz has more left. He has more left.
Because, I get it. He's such a big name, and, he can eat these pins and stuff, but, he doesn't have to be losing this much. I want to
see, because the Miz is always compared to MJF, but at this point, MJF, it's just
oh, he's worlds ahead of Miz now.
Give the Miz a hot mic and give him a turn. Not a turn, but, give him a turn in terms of attitude and just come on. I don't know.
Still go.
I think he can too. I don't know.
How old is the Miz? Oh, let's play our game.
Good question.
I'm gonna guess.
Do you think he's over under 40? Gotta be over 40,
I'm gonna say 41.
Yeah, I like
my
that.
guess.
I like that guess. I'll go 40 on the money.
Okay.
42.
42. Wow. He looks good for 42, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Dolph Ziggler's only 42, or no? I guess only. Huh.
I mean, that's still kind of.
And they were in his hometown too. They're in Cleveland, Ohio.
They were in
Miz
Cleveland,
ate the pin,
Ohio.
which I guess added to the Logan Paul segment that we'll talk about later. But
poor Miz.
But that's what I'm saying.
He just
poor
needs
Miz.
to take time off. Just let him take a few months off, reset, come back, and just start from scratch.
Come back, give him a hot mic, and let him talk.
Go. Let him talk. Let him drop a pipe bomb.
Let him talk, but get the ball shirt off him. Give him something. Just I don't know.
I need to see a more serious Miz.
Me too.
We haven't seen a serious Miz in a while.
Caden Carter and Katana Chance basically squashed Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. Before the match, they had which I thought was good. They had I don't know if you saw they had fake TikToks about Chelsea Green. I thought they were pretty good.
She has that.
I thought they were very funny. Yeah.
Character.
I loved that. I thought it was funny. I thought it was creative. Karen is a little bit. I mean, it's WWE, so they're gonna be a year behind, the memes and stuff.
Yeah. If this was a year ago, I think it would have been more popular.
Yeah. A little bit of boomer, the Karen stuff quickly shifted to the boomers on Facebook. But overall, I liked it.
It's a cool character. Yeah,
they got squashed by the KCs, which I don't mind. A lot of people were upset about it. I liked it because. The KCs got there.
Is that what they call themselves?
No, but that's why.
That makes because they're KC.
You would think they do something with that.
Never even made that connection.
You think WWE would hitch on to that, but no. They lost a week or two ago against Ronda and a great match against Ronda and Shayna. They got their win back. I don't know. I'm a big fan of them too. I hope there's more. Hope there's more to come from.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure we'll see plenty more of them in the future.
Logan Paul. He returns. I loved how he was presented.
Love it. Big time.
Blacked out the arena, announced him, and just a spotlight of him.
Sitting on top
of the ladder with the two briefcases hanging above him. And he, just does
I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder what he's going to talk about.
Cuts a solid heel promo, shits on Cleveland. Says
he's from...
That's what I'm saying. He says, he's not he left his hometown. Does the classic heel hometown thing, whatever. And you called it a week or two ago, probably last week, where he pulled some strings in the back,
called some executives,
and said, "I've been added to the Money in the Bank match." And then, everyone came down. They had a brawl. He said, "Who's this guy?" to Butch and blah blah. They had a brawl, but that's not.
I don't even know who this guy is. Yeah.
At the end, Logan climbed up the ladder, touched the briefcase, which is usually bad luck. But so we don't got to talk about the brawls, whatever. But Logan, what?
Before we get into this point, I just want to talk about very quickly. LA Knight, the pop that he got.
Oh yeah,
just his promos are just. He reminds me of The Rock and Stone Cold combined. I close my eyes, I listen to him, and I hear The Rock, but I also hear that Stone Cold attitude. His thing where he was like, talk about Logan Paul, he goes, I got a map for you. He goes, and the map leads to where you can stick all those balls in prime. Yeah,
that was a fucking Rock line. That was straight out of The Rock.
Literally was a Rock. Like that was textbook Rock.
Turn it sideways up your candy ass or whatever. Yeah,
literally just like The Rock.
Damn, he's gonna lose,
dude. So you talked about. You said what you were gonna say about Logan Paul, really quick.
No, that was just me. So I just want to talk about what you're about to talk about. I just want to talk about Logan being added. What do you think the implication is?
This is what I want to happen.
I think Logan's winning. Logan's gonna win.
Here's what I want LA Knight to win. That's what should happen.
Yeah, no,
that's
we're on
what
the same
should
page.
happen. But it shouldn't. It shouldn't happen. But I would not be upset if Logan Paul won. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
I wouldn't be upset either.
But
I want LA Knight to win more.
No, I agree. Because everything that I said about LA Knight and the briefcase, like hold on to it. Like not Logan Paul could be such a shitty heel. He's just dangling it over everyone.
Him and LA Knight would do the same exact thing with the briefcase, which is why I think either decision would be good. The only difference is LA Knight would obviously be on TV every week.
Right.
Logan
not
would,
so much.
You know what I mean?
LA Knight, it would be like people would be pissed at Logan. People would he'd show up with the briefcase. People would be booing him. But LA Knight has it. They're anticipating. They're waiting for him to cash it in. But it should be LA Knight. But man, them adding Logan Paul to the mix makes things interesting. But
I don't see, if Logan's added, I don't see him losing.
So this is what I see happening too. Because we were talking about how Logan needs to start picking up wins, like all that stuff. So what I think they could do, because they had the spot at Royal Rumble, they're definitely going to have a spot at Money in the Bank. I could see Ricochet and Logan Paul having a match at SummerSlam. One-on-one match. I think that could lead it, because it's someone that he can beat.
Especially if Logan loses. You mean if Logan loses this?
Yes,
either way.
Yeah. Either, I guess either way, but I'm more so if you lose. I'm just thinking more LA Knight wins, Logan Paul, it leads into this. Because Ricochet can make anyone look good. Yeah. He can make Logan Paul look great. They could have amazing spots. I think that would be a sick match at SummerSlam.
I think it would. It'd be a nice little in the middle of the show match. Gets the crowd it's the Logan Paul match. Logan Paul gets a win. Yeah, I think so too.
But it still should be LA Knight. But if Logan Paul was the one to unhook the briefcase, I wouldn't be pissed off about it. I would be a little upset because I want LA Knight, but I would not be overly pissed about it. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, we're gonna do our Money in the Bank picks in a week or whatever.
We got a lot to think about.
I don't know. I'd be picking
I'm
one of the
50-50 right now. Yeah, I'm torn. I'm very torn.
I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens in the following weeks. I would after last Monday, and just kind of where I'm sitting, I'd probably pick Logan right now, just because I unfortunately don't see him losing this, and it's a perfect little accessory for him.
I know,
but it is for LA. I don't know.
I know.
I don't know.
They can go down two different directions here, but I think both directions could be really, really solid.
I want to check something. Are we fucking up? Because Forbidden Door is on Saturday, right?
Is Forbidden Door on Saturday?
Forbidden Door is on Saturday.
Oh, we have to do predictions.
Picks. We gotta do picks.
Ooh, okay.
We could probably run through. How about that? We don't, because usually we talk about it.
Yeah.
Maybe at the end we'll just run through our picks.
Okay.
We'll just kind of do it.
Right,
a little speed run. We don't gotta talk about it. Mainly also because, again, filming on Wednesday, so we're gonna miss a lot of context, and I feel like if we talk about it now, we're gonna miss a lot of stuff.
I didn't even realize that was a Saturday. Tough.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Oops. Is it at a special time? Where is it?
I think it's in Canada.
It's in Canada. It's gonna be at a regular time.
Is it Canada?
Yeah. Toronto, Ontario. There's also not much. Okay,
four
I feel better about that. Okay, there's not a whole lot announced.
I was gonna say I feel like they haven't announced much. They'll probably announce a lot of matches tonight.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, we
might just not do it for might just do Money in the Bank. Unfortunately, notice I'm gonna watch it. It's gonna be a great thing. Maybe we just do a gentleman's for the
gentleman's
situational.
I mean, the 4 matches. We're not gonna be able to. Yeah, I think we'd have. I don't know if we'd have some. I don't know, but yeah, we can just skip over this one.
Tough.
The Money in the Bank predictions will carry more weight.
Yeah, because this is more of. It is a pay-per-view, but it's more like a special than it is like because like
it's like a crossover show, like Family Guy and The Simpsons.
It's like the Family Guy and The Simpsons. It's just an enjoyable one. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, okay.
I am okay with that. I retain for another week.
Sorry, guys.
Where are we? Are we done with Logan? I feel like, right?
Yeah. I think so.
Riddle defeats Ludwig Kaiser and is beaten down post-match by Kaiser and Gunther. Really heavy-handed. Seems like we're leaning Gunther and Riddle at Money in the Bank, which is solid. They can both go. It was a solid match too. I mean, both these guys are great. Nothing crazy to say about it other than I'm looking forward to. This is gonna be a wrestling match.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
Both nearly just both these guys basically naked. Just.
Riddle's chest is going to be as red as that Rey Mysterio mask after the match. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a hard-hitting match because, like, Riddle, people don't remember. He was a UFC fighter for a while.
Yeah. And they do not talk about that nearly as much. I feel like they did.
I feel like
NXT,
they should.
maybe.
He was a fighter. Like the dude's he has a fighter look. Like the reason why he's not in the UFC is because drug policy. Because he couldn't stop smoking weed. That's the only reason why he stopped fighting.
I want to see
but he has that background.
We gotta get out of it. Like you can keep him being like the surfer. I just want him to
be more serious.
Give me the Seth Rollins feud, Matt Riddle.
I agree. I also don't like his Speedo, that thing that he wore. I liked his like.
That's kind of what I said. Basically, two naked men.
Literally, he's wearing a birthday suit essentially.
Yeah. The no shoes and boots. Like the barefoot makes him.
I'm fine with the barefoot.
No, I'm fine with it too, but it makes him look that much more naked. He just looks like a baby.
Yeah, there's not a lot of skin covered up on that body. That's for sure. I think it would be whenever they do it, which I'm assuming they are. It'll be a good match.
Rhea squashes Natalya again in a Night of Champions rematch.
Poor Natalya.
Hard times for Natty.
It's gonna pay off at Mania when she wins it all.
Again, I've been a defender of this. I think we've seen. I don't think Natty has any more runs in her. I think. We're not really the biggest Natty advocates. All respect to her. She's a veteran, blah, blah, blah. She trained a lot of people who we watch today. But, like, in today's wrestling, I'd rather, it's Rhea's time now.
Yeah.
Squash the veterans. Mm-hmm. Why does Natalya need to have a competitive match against Rhea?
At this point, Natalya doesn't carry any, like, oh, my God, she beat Natalya?
Right.
It doesn't carry as much weight as it used to.
The final Women's Money in the Bank qualifier match, which I didn't know this was happening until it happened. Trish Stratus defeats Raquel Rodriguez via disqualification. I'll tell you what happened. Becky shows up to take out Zoe Stark, but she also ends up putting her hands on Trish. You okay? Damn.
I was moving in my seat and I hit my knee.
Ow.
We're good.
Becky shows up to take out Zoe Stark, but also puts her hands on Trish, resulting in her accidentally disqualifying Rodriguez and advancing her enemy Trish Stratus into the ladder match.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably would have rather seen Raquel in the match.
Yeah,
to be honest, Raquel and Trish had an entertaining match. Like when Trish has a good, because obviously Trish is older, you can't go or move as fast, whatever, but she can still go in the ring. But when you have someone like Raquel and have someone on the other side that can really not carry but bring out the best in you, you can say, "Oh, Trish can have a good match."
It was a solid match. I don't know the whole way it ended. Like I get it. Like Becky didn't know it was her. Like she kind of messed up. Like you can play along with that. Yeah. But I would have liked it if Raquel found a way to win. I mean, maybe Raquel gets added into it because it's like she got screwed over. Maybe next week they throw her in.
I think at this point, I think this is the field.
Yeah,
you know?
I guess. I mean, because it's like you have three of the women in the match are involved in a storyline, and then you have Bayley, and then you have Bayley, Iyo, and then Zelina,
and Zoe. Oh, sorry.
So it's like Becky, Zoe, Trish, and then Bayley, Iyo, and then Zelina, unless Bayley gets taken out, but. So it's like,
and they teased. What's weird is they teased Raquel and Charlotte. Like there's like a backstage moment where they teased Raquel. I don't know.
Rhea. It was
Raquel and Rhea. Raquel and Rhea.
That's Rhea. I know. Yeah.
Which like I don't know. It sucks that like Raquel's momentum just kind of got halted after like the tag team or after Liv got injured.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, had to relinquish. And she hasn't really been on a roll since. But this was fine. It was just like you said. It was to serve the story. We'll get a lot of whatever.
Now I'll tell you. Now that Trish is in the match,
Trish in a Money in the Bank match, bro.
I can see her winning this. I can genuinely see her winning this.
Yeah,
I really can.
Because it's a good heel tool.
She has Zoe there to help her out too. I think she can win the briefcase. Cash in. I'm sorry, I got distracted by that.
Yeah, sorry if you can have the window open. Sorry if you can hear the car alarm.
I think that Trish winning. I mean, she could be. I don't know. I mean, she could pin whoever she pins, whatever. I think that would end up leading to Trish Becky, which I think would be the payoff at some point. But I can see Trish winning it because she's back full time. I think this is her last full time run, and maybe give her one more shot with the title. I don't know. You could, I think or even if she play with this.
If she wins it, then she puts the briefcase up in a match against Becky. Maybe Becky wins it.
Because I could see them having a match at SummerSlam. So I was thinking the big payoff. But if they fight at SummerSlam, I don't know.
Well, that's the weird thing is like you said, there's all these feud where you have like Zoe, Trish, Becky, and Bayley and Iyo. None of those need the briefcase in their stories. You know
but
what
then
I mean?
You got Zelina, and I don't know if
I don't think Zelina's going to win. I would love Zelina to win
because Bayley Iyo could be a singles match at SummerSlam.
Right.
Becky Trish can be a singles match at SummerSlam. I mean,
it feels too early for Zoe to win it.
Yes, I agree. They could do Becky Trish. Trish could win it, and then they do a Becky Trish match, and then Becky wins, so it's 1-1. And then their final match down the line is for the belt, whatever happens. I don't know. I'd say Trish being added to the equation definitely makes me less confident about Iyo winning.
Really?
Yeah.
That much more?
I think so. I think even though I understand Trish is older, she's a veteran, she's, whatever. I think that you could have something there with her winning the briefcase.
More so what I was thinking is I'm more nervous about her being in the ladder match because I mean she
getting hurt and
she
stuff
can still go. But if you as you get older, your reflexes are a little. If you got a flying Iyo Sky coming at you with a ladder, you gotta duck and.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure they'll protect her. I'm sure they'll protect her.
She won't be in as many spots as the
That's
other
what I'm saying.
I understand what you mean. Yeah.
Imagine if she hits something crazy though. I could see her hitting something.
She could. Nuts. You never know. They could surprise us. But yeah, I don't know. I think Trish being added to the mix definitely lessens the chances of Iyo winning for me. Yeah. The predictions next week is going to be interesting.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting.
This week's SmackDown and Raw are going to be hopefully a needle mover in the sense of a little more. I hope it's a little. I'm just thinking for myself in the predictions. I hope it's a little more of clearer to me. So a lot of these are 50-50, and even down to because we didn't really. I mean, there wasn't much on this show. Well, Cody's in the main event, but. Even the Cody and Brock match, Cody and Dom match.
Dom could win that.
Brock could come in and do an interference, then Cody loses to Dom, and that's a whole other, hard times, whatever. A lot of this is let's look at let's pause now and kind of take the card. I already have it pulled down.
I don't know what other matches they would announce. I think the Intercontinental match, maybe United States match.
All right, so we got. I mean, I don't want to do predictions yet.
No.
I don't want to spoil it.
We'll
we
just
got the two Money in the Bank matches, which we already talked at length about. But we got Cody Rhodes and Dominic, Seth and Finn Balor, and the Bloodline Civil War is what's announced right now. Then like you said, hopefully Gunther and the U.S. title.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know.
Triple H has been a big quality over quantity guy. when he runs these pay-per-views.
It's so much better. It's so much
so
better.
I honestly could like.
I would be fine if this is. I was
gonna say
card,
like this genuinely
beautiful.
because the 2 Money in the Bank match is going to be like 30 minutes each. The Bloodline match is going to be like long. 45 minutes, and then Seth Finn could give you 25.
Honestly,
30
yeah.
minutes.
If this is the whole, and this is also
might be though,
and this is also at 1 p.m. for us on a Saturday. Yeah. Imagine if I'm already thinking about it now. Because I'm having a little birthday shindig after. Imagine my day. Just a nice little concise Money in the Bank in the afternoon.
Bleeds right into the night. Yeah. That's solid. That's a solid Saturday. Yeah. That might be the card. Maybe they just save Riddle Gunther for like a Raw.
That's a great SummerSlam match too.
It is. Yeah, it would be a good SummerSlam match. Yeah. Fuck it. Yeah, I'd be fine if this was just the card. But yeah, we'll see what happens on Raw and SmackDown.
Well, brush down the rest of Raw. Bronson Reed defeats Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't know what they're doing. I mean,
I still think Bronson Reed should be added to the match. If he's this involved in it, why wouldn't he?
He's got a 3-way feud with Ricochet and Shinsuke. You would think they would just you would think he'd be in the match,
right?
And especially if he's getting wins.
That's what I'm saying. Granted, he beat Ricochet. He beat Nakamura. In my head, I'd think logically it should be like Bronson Reed saying, I want a triple threat match. If I win this against both of them, I'm in the match type of thing. Or like something. I don't know. I feel like why would he lose and win these matches to not be included in the match?
As much as I like Butch, he would make more sense to be in it than like a Butch.
More believable, in my opinion.
Also more believable, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they used to
Solid thing. Great. I mean, 3 talented guys.
Yeah.
So like I'm all for the feud. I'm just not quite
a big
sure.
boy in the Money in the Bank match too. Yeah. You know what I mean? We'll see. I don't know.
KO and Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Cody Rhodes take on and defeat the Judgment Day. Cody needed to find some partners. It was going to be Akira Tozawa, but he finds Kevin and Sami throughout the night. Just a little backstory. It kind of happened throughout all the night, but Sami challenges Kevin to keep his temper cool throughout the whole night, which I thought was hilarious. There was so much of Kevin just. I love this hot. I say it every week, but this hothead Kevin is so fucking funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
A nice little piece that I really liked was Sami and Kevin Owens say, "Oh, like I'm looking. You say you're looking for teammates, whatever," and they're like, "You are the big part of the reason why we have these titles and why we main evented WrestleMania, why we got to where we were. You helped us a lot." We didn't forget that, so we would love to help you out tonight. Loved that little detail. Thought that was great. And they just had a solid 3-on-3 match. A lot of Rhea involvement, which I don't actually think it's gonna happen, but we gotta see a mixed gender, whatever they call it, Rhea versus match. like similar to like she's like the modern day China, you know, like
much better, but
yeah. She could absolutely take on like I don't know. Give me Rhea versus.
They did her versus Tozawa like last year at the end of last year.
But give me like a Rhea.
No,
give me someone.
Yeah, not someone like him. No, I get that.
But and another note I have: Cody was coming down. Maybe he does it every week, but I fucking love. I mean, Cody's Cody. Love Cody. He's a hero. But he gives his the weight belt.
Yeah.
Gives that to like a kid. Takes it off and
he does do that every week.
Yeah, I fucking love it. It's similar to like Ray would take off his mask cover and give it to a kid or whatever.
Yeah.
I fucking like imagine walking out and he gave it to a little girl.
That's a sick belt too.
I know. Imagine walking from the arena and you got Cody Rhodes' weight belt that he gave to you.
That's cool.
Are you crazy?
That's very cool.
It's
nuts. very reminiscent
I
of
love
like
that.
Like a Rey Mysterio giving his mask, or like Cena throwing his shirt in the crowd or something like that. Yeah,
it's just a small detail that I really, really love that Cody does.
Yeah, he gave his belt to Brody Lee's kid at Mania. Remember?
Yes.
Right before the match. Yeah, very cool.
So I mean, honestly, like this is just a solid main event. It didn't not a whole. I mean, obviously it built to. You know, Cody and Dom got their time. There's Rhea involvement, blah, blah, blah. But, like, other than this, unless I'm missing something.
Did you see there was a backstage segment, and I think it was Kevin and Sami talking to Gunther and Ludwig, I think Kaiser.
Okay.
And while they're talking, Sami Zayn gets, like, a phone call, or, like, something happens to his phone, and he looks. And he's like, Kevin, like, we got to take care of this. And Kevin's like, we'll deal with you later. Like, we gotta take care of this. And they walk off. Yeah,
I must have brushed over.
Yeah, so that's a little Easter egg, a little something that they threw in there. Yeah, I don't know if it's something to do with the bloodline, maybe Jey Uso, Jimmy. I don't know, but
yeah, I mean, it would be cool. I mean, obviously, like the Civil War stuff is we're so past Kevin and Sami, but they are a big part of it.
Before Jey came out the other night, remember Sami was sitting there, and then he saw him, and Sami just got up and walked away.
Yeah.
So there is.
You're right. There's still
ties.
The week before that, Sami was the one that said, "Don't do what's in your ear, do what's in your heart." So there is a lot of Sami ties.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, so very interesting. I'm curious to see what that leads to, but
and that's just about it.
Let's see if anything happened.
The only other thing I have, which like it's just more nitpicking, but it's like I don't love the Raw commentary team.
Who's on the Raw commentary team?
Corey Graves and then the other guy. I don't know, he's just a dude.
Yeah, I like the SmackDown announce team a lot better. Michael Cole and Wade Barrett.
1,000%.
Michael Cole and Pat McAfee was the best duo.
They were fantastic.
That was an
they were
iconic
really
duo.
good. I think Wade Barrett is also great.
No, he is great.
But it would help maybe because like Cole and Pat McAfee have what I would want modern day. Cole, Pat McAfee, and then Wade Barrett, and I don't even like Corey Graves.
I don't mind him, but yeah, I could care less.
What's the commentary team?
Wade Barrett was an NXT. Booker T is an NXT with someone else. I forget what his name is.
It's Corey Graves. Oh, Kevin Patrick. That's his name.
Kevin Patrick. Yeah.
Doesn't hit.
Yeah, I agree. They don't have him like Jerry Lawler and JR.
Yeah.
I
love because I was a SmackDown kid. I loved Cole and Taz.
Taz was great. Taz was a GOAT commentator. Still is in AEW, but he was a GOAT commentator.
That might be what's our send off here? I feel like we had something at the beginning.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I feel like we had something
about the Flash, maybe.
Yeah, maybe something about the Flash.
We'll do Go Tanks fusion. All right.
Go Tank.
So
yeah, something with that.
It has to be like something that makes sense. You can't just put Go Tanks.
Yeah, I don't know much about that stuff.
All right, how about fusion? Ha! That's what they say. They go fusion.
Throw it.
Ha!
Throw it in the comments.
Fusion ha in the comments.
If you made it this far, put that in the comments.
Or Go Tanks or something. We'll get what you're saying. But if you made it this far, fusion ha in the comments. We appreciate it. This has been episode 32.
Yep.
I love this episode. Concise, solid. We talked about a lot in this hour and 12 minutes.
The bloodline takes up a lot of time.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to name this yet. We'll probably put Logan Paul in the title just for the sake of clicks. But all right, that's all I got. Thank you guys for watching. You can follow me at Raspy Taylor on Twitter, Instagram, and then Twitch and Spotify and YouTube and all that. But the first two are more important.
You can follow me on Twitter at Dante on Deck, and then Dante Toro /Dante Toro 11 everywhere else. You can follow Stache Club Wrestling on TikTok, and you can follow Stache Club W on Instagram and Twitter. That's a show. We will see you next week. We will see you all week for a bunch of quizzes and all of that stuff. The final finale of My GM Bros. Season 1. Yep. Season finale. Will be coming out this coming Monday. So catch up on the last episode of My GM Bros. WrestleMania. My GM Bros. All right. For the road. Toodles. Till next time. Take it easy. Peace out.